What brings me joy and happiness is knowing how beautiful the mind is. And I'm one of the few people that didn't read about it, didn't experience it through some drug. I got to experience the beauty of true willpower. True you, I'm gonna fail, I'm gonna fail, I'm gonna fail, I'm gonna fail, and I will succeed. Just me talking about that gives me a feeling, I know what I did. And I don't need to travel somewhere or to have this or have that. I have it all here in my mind. You can be this up dude, like really up dude, and with the right mindset, and it sounds so easy with the right mindset.
It doesn't sound easy. I know what you're saying. It sounds like a simplistic answer.
Right. You can, but you have to go into those dark chambers that we often shut off, and you got to open them up. You got to open up and fight that demon, get in there, talk to that, say what's up. And we all like to take this 4-lane highway, the easy highway. It has signs, it has restaurants. We all love that 4-lane highway. We always step over the shovel. And all I did was I picked up that shovel, and that shovel, I made my own path. And you may have big boulders and they may be getting 200 miles up the road faster than you, but going through this path of life, this journey over here that you make yourself, that's incredibly difficult. When it comes out the other end of that, some glorious that you can't even explain to people. And we're afraid. Bottom line is, most of us, even the people who have all these theories and it's easier to accept the fact that I'm just not good enough. I wasn't made to do that. And yeah, some of us can't be LeBron James. But I'll tell you right now, man, we can do a lot when it comes to this pure on guts and willpower and getting through We have a lot more than what we think we have.
If I allow myself to experience joy and gratitude, then I'm not going to be able to be as hard, that I'm going to lose that edge that distinguishes me.
No, that's not it at all. What it was I never felt that my entire life. You're almost taught that. When you're born in a happy home and you're born around happy, it kind of comes out. I don't laugh. My dad beat the laughter out of me. When you can't read and write and you're trying to hide out in classes and please don't call on me and you're all scared and everywhere you go you're nervous and you're panicked and you're stuttering and your whole life is that there's not joy in that. That becomes who you are. No matter how much you change, you're scarred. So people are like, my God, man, you never smile, you never do this. It's my life. It's my life. So you got to teach yourself how to read and write and also smile and say, it's okay. A lot of things aren't like, man, why don't you do this? Like, I don't judge people. That's why I don't judge them. People, man, you don't smile, you look so hard like this. Read my book and don't forget where I came from. It's who you are. You have to undo that. And no one came down and trained me on how to be happy, how to find peace, how to do this and that. That's why I'm so glad I found it through suffering. The greater the suffer, the greater the peace I found. But you have to reflect on where you came from the dungeon of hell that I came from. I had to reflect on that to find final peace and be able to say, wow, if you die in this bed at 40 years old, I'm the happiest in the world because I did it. I pissed people off along the way. Some people don't like me, Merry Christmas, whatever. But you can finally look in the mirror and you can cuss on damn Rich Roll and don't care what they say about you and be happy with it. I could die right now on this show and I'll be happy, man. So that's my happiness is my reflection on the suffering of my journey, knowing I never quit, nor was I guided by anybody on this earth. I was guided by something much more powerful, and I listened. And I chose the path of most resistance. Talent not required.
First of all, you have to understand that discipline doesn't imply that it's going to be easy. Discipline implies that it's going to get done even when you don't feel like it. So there's a lot of times when you're exercising high levels of discipline that you're like, I don't want to be doing this. It's extremely hard. I'd rather be doing other things. I'm not really focused on this, but the thing gets done regardless because of the discipline. So just because it's hard doesn't mean you don't have discipline. Discipline is required to do the things that are hard when you don't feel like doing them. That doesn't mean they're going to feel less hard. It just means they're still going to get done. And if you take inventory of your life and everything you ever told yourself you wanted to be, and you go back in time and you say, what if I had been able to adhere to the plan I laid out in front of my path for me to get where I wanted to go, and I had stuck to that no matter what would my life look like now? What would my life look like if every single time I told myself I was going to get in great shape, I actually followed through the first time? What would my life look like if all the times I told myself I was going to take my career more seriously, I just did that the first time? Where would I be now? Right? It's a life-changing skill set, being able to have high discipline. That does not mean that it's easy. It's almost insulting to look at someone who is constantly working hard and think that it's easy for them to work hard. It's not easy. Most of the that I do every day, I don't want to do. All right. It's hard. What I do is very, very hard. It's very, very stressful. It's there's a lot of weight to carry. It's hard. It never gets easy. Just honestly, there's days, that it crushes me, dude. But does the get done on the days it crushes me? It gets done. Yeah. And that's what matters about discipline. So just because you think it's hard and just because you think that you don't feel it or you're not catching it and you're going to have off days doesn't mean that's something. That's it. That's how it's supposed to be, bro. You're mistaking it thinking that once you develop a strong discipline that things are just easy. That's not the way it is. If you are going through a hard time, if you are someone who's struggling right now, if you are going through one of these dark phases, you have to learn how to leverage it to your benefit. What are you trying to become? What are you trying to build? What are you trying to create? And how can this thing that's happening to you become something that's happening for you? What skills can it provide? What lessons can it teach you that are going to help you create what it is you're trying to create? Stop looking at these times as I'm cursed, or I just have bad luck, or it's not fair. Guess what? It's not fair. No one ever said it's going to be fair. It's never been fair. It's never been fair in the history of humankind. All we can do is take what the world gives us and turn it into something productive. So when you're going through one of these times, you have to stop and ask yourself, what can I gain? What can I learn? What skill set can I get from this? What is this trying to show me? And how is this going to be applied to my future? Okay? The victimhood culture that exists in society is the worst, most toxic culture that has ever existed in the world. And by the way, it's intentional. It's intentional. It's put into our culture so that we can look at all of these hard things that happen to us, all of these things that are unfortunate and unfair. And we can say, oh, I can't make it because of that. I can't do it because of that. And then what happens to you? You become a poor little me. You accept what life gives you. You never become what it is you're supposed to become. And because you never become what it is you're supposed to become, none of the people around you see that it's possible to change your existence. And it is. That is your role. That is your obligation. It is absolutely your duty to become what it is you were meant to become that version of you that lives deep inside your heart, that only you know about, that you are too afraid to even tell people about because you think you're gonna get laughed at. That version of you is who you were born to be. And if you do not become that, and you do not make that materialize into reality, everybody around you suffers. It's not just you. It's not just your family. It's everybody. Because right now in our culture, in our society, we have a shortage of success stories. We have a shortage of people who are pursuing success. And because we have a shortage of people who are pursuing success, we have a shortage of people who believe that success is possible for them.